handle the truth.
I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeah, I play the drums, the guitar, No, I don't play any of that crap. Anyway, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being part of the Jim Price Show. Let's make up the date. No, we don't have to do that. The government tells me, right? Oh, it's May 18th. It's a Monday, 2026. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. All right. Well, a couple of different things this weekend. Thank you for those of you that did show up on Saturday to Felipe Jr.'s. A couple miles down the street here from me. Oh, I got a wild hair. Oof. All right. Anyway, thank you to those that came Saturday night and hung out with me at Felipe Jr.'s. We had a great meal there and had friends over the house later at that evening. It was a good time for all, good stuff. Even one of the boys that is Jimmy's friends, but my friend as well. He actually ended up go ahead and gave me a peach tree. So I have a peach tree for my birthday. I've been given a lot of things in my life over the years, but I don't know if I've ever been given a tree. So I got a tree now. So I got a peach tree. So now we're going to have to find a place for the peach tree. But tonight here in the old Wichita, Salina, going into Kansas City up through Des Moines, Iowa, we got tornadoes tonight. So in the next couple hours, we're going to probably hear, get the old thing going. And then I'll go outside. And I'm like, where's it at? I chased one down a couple years ago. We had one that was, I got film of it. It was going down across the street over here. It's going down and went down. And I actually went down and chased it for quite a while. But that was the one that went through Andover a few years back, 4 years ago. Charlie Francis, good to see you. Says, hi, Brenda, love you. And Brenda says, hello, everybody. Glad you came back. Yeah, absolutely. So like, share, and comment, right? Because that's how we keep the popcorn popping here against the algorithm that is so willing to chew my legs off of me and you. All right. So this weekend, real quick update. Yes, we talked a little bit about my birthday being this weekend and being the new year. And I know it's all very cliche and all this, be new year and this and that. But I do believe that there's a part of us that really focuses too much on the negative, right? Where I'm 55. No, I've completed 55 years. My new year, I'm going into my 56th year. This is my new year, right? I'm going into a new year now. So this is why I wanted to use that type of language so that we can actually have that conversation of positivity of, hey, I, am going into my new year. How about you? No, I'm just old. Well, I don't want to be old. I know that's, it's part of what society says we are and what we think we are, but in reality, I would have to say that, I think that it is actually a state of mind. I think that you can be as old and decrepit and as hurting and worting and dirtin if you want to, but in reality, it's up to you. It's what you want life to be. You're the observer. I know I keep using these words like observer and you get to be what you want to be, and I have a lot of people out there, including part of myself, that wants to reject that idea that I'm in control of my own destiny, that I am the observer. The sad part of it is, guys, I work on it every day while I tell you guys to work on it every day. Every day I'm working on it, I tell you guys to work on it. And if you're not working on it, then you're falling behind. But yes, life is what you make it. It can be what you want. So, Maggie O'Leary's here. Good to see you. Carrie here. Easy, I'm on. Heiserman, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Julie D's here. Happy birthday, Jim. Thank you so much, Julie. Hey, Julie, we are going to be in Knoll, Missouri this weekend, so I don't know if you want to make your way over, but could be good times for all. Maggie says, I'm 76, don't feel old. Still working out, lifting weights, acting like a child. Well, that's what you do. Now, by the way, guys, by God, I'm going to tell you right now, Scientifically, I think I've talked about this on the show and kind of in passing and just kind of used it as a describer. But get in your mind's eye right now and understand that the only thing that restricts you from jumping 20 feet in the air is your fear of the contact with the earth. Did you know that? So your body doesn't know how high you can jump because you don't jump. Your body doesn't know how much you can lift because you don't lift. Your body doesn't know what your limitations are because you never push yourself. Okay? So the science is, there's two different things in science and the idea of propulsion of human beings, moving your body, getting you to move, okay? So if you are running down the track, how fast you are has nothing to do with this moving back and forth really fast, right? Everybody's like, I got to move my feet faster because that makes me faster, right? Right? No. How hard your foot hits the ground. Sorry, my springs are chiming off here. That's really funny that they all, but the harder you hit your foot to the floor, the greater your bounce forward. So when we think about how our lives work, isn't that what it's really about right there? The more that you're willing to jump, the more you're willing to leap, the more you're willing to do something that could hurt you, the younger you will be. Listen to me. They know this. They've proven it through all the kinesiology tests and all the physical response and the big stuff, right? Listen. Listen to the words coming out of my face. You are only getting old because you don't try. Because you don't do dangerous things. Because you're always safe. Well, I can't do that. I'm 60 years old. I can't do that. I'm 40 years old. Well, I can't do that. I'm 30 years old. Well, I can't do that because I'm 20 years old. I can't do that because I'm 10 years old. What is your excuse today? You've been giving everybody those excuses your whole life. But how about you pound your foot down to see how high you can leap? Did you know that? That's how that works. The only reason that you don't feel young is because you don't do young shit. And young shit is dangerous, correct? Children climb trees, not old people. Children ride bicycles, not old people. Children go on boat rides, not old people. Children go swimming and play splash, not old people. We sit in lawn chairs with our drinks because we're responsible. We don't splash about wildly in the water and embracing the impact of the water and the sun and grabbing each other and almost drowning each other half the time because that's where we find the limit of who we are. So if you guys want to know what my birthday's about, you want to celebrate my birthday? How about you find where you just keep pushing your limits. Let's keep going further. Let's go a little harder. Let's go a little further. Let's do a little bit more. Stay up a little bit longer. Get up a little earlier. Be a little more tired because that's your limit. And if limit means that I get tired by 6, well, tomorrow I'm pushing till 7. And if tomorrow means I get tired at 7, I'm going to push until 8. And if tomorrow becomes 8, then I'm going to push until 9. Until I don't get tired and I don't lay down until I want to lay down when I feel like it. I don't know. You guys do you, boo. Maggie O'Leary's out here killing it. So, what I'm pointing out to you is that when we limit ourselves and we say, well, this was my birth date, I'm 55 now, I'm the double nickel, I finally get my senior discount. No, screw you and your senior discount and you're getting old, and you're double nickel. I'm going to play with Hot Wheels, and I'm going to go dig in the backyard in the sand and do what I want and build a garage and house in my backyard, and I'm going to play with the chickens and the turkeys and the dogs and the ducks and all the different things, and I'm going to have a whole bunch of fun doing it. How about you guys? What do you want your life to look like? Do you want to sit around and wait for the ambulance to come pick your ass up and put you in a box? Or do you want your last check to bounce and the last time you jumped on the bungee cord, it broke? Because you don't have to come back and pay off that debt or your credit cards or say sorry for jumping off of a cliff with a bungee cord because you were doing shit that other people can't do. I mean, they literally cannot imagine. They can't put themselves there because it's past their limit. It's past their bedtime. It's past being young. I would rather just get old and die. All right, Dave Salee, what's up? And now you have a peach tree to tend to. Wow, peach pie, absolutely. This year, the fruit trees did not bloom properly. It seems like we had a little mishap there, maybe some freezing and some windings and some I don't knows. We've had some bad stuff around here lately. Really dry spring here in Kansas. I don't know if you guys have heard about that or not, but the wheat crops are being affected. So anyway, all right, couple things here. You remember old gap-toothed Stacey Abrams from Atlanta? Remember she got $2 billion for refrigerators, wash machines, and microwaves. Remember? And then she sued to say she deserved it, and then a judge in Atlanta called a Democrat appointed by Biden or by Barry said, "No, you can keep the $2 billion because you're worth it, sweetie. Maybe we'll get you a little filler for that right there in the front, right there. You get your little teeth, that kind of thing right there. I'll get your little teeth thing right there." Anyway, yeah, $2 billion, not $2 million, not the M word, the B word. $2 billion for refrigerators and macros and wash machines, man. Energy Star stuff, brother. Energy Star. Energy Star. See, people in Atlanta don't have wash machines or TVs. They just don't. They don't have refrigerators. So they have been living without these things until she comes along and gives it to them. I mean, it's amazing. I am so happy. Thank you, Stacey, for buying $2 billion worth of Energy Star the Energy Star costing appliances. By the way, guys, did you know that Energy Star appliances use 2 to 3 times more energy than appliances from the 40s and 50s and 60s? Did you know that? Yeah, the solid state construction we used to have on Grandma's refrigerator, the one that you had in the garage forever and you finally threw away because you just thought it was old, was drawing far less electricity than anything you have got in your house brand new right now. Period. Look up Dustman. There's a guy who refurbishes old refrigerators, and he will tell you the wattage pulled. He even pulled one out. It had caught fire. The house had caught fire. They pulled the refrigerator all charred, and they took the wires and cleaned them off and plugged it in, and then showed the voltage was less as the compressor ran in a fired out refrigerator that still was cool on the inside, was all charred on the outside. But these Energy Star pieces of crap we have in our houses up here that don't go do crap, they draw 2 and 3 times more electricity than the old shit. Anyway, all right, Stacey Abrams. This is why I can't get news done, because I tell you about all this other stuff. All right. Twice failed Democrat Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams said the quiet part out loud after Supreme Court issued a ruling on racial gerrymandering. I did not. Hey, how many of you in the comments here, how many of you guys knew that there was actual purposeful racial gerrymandering where it was only a black district only? Do you guys know this is a thing? Like in Louisiana, in Chicago, and other places. I mean, this is in Illinois and all these other, this is a thing. Did you know, does anybody know that there was racial gerrymandering and everybody was like, we did it. Thank you. We did it, Joe. We did it. We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. We conned the world. We did it, Joe. Coconut tree. All right. So Abrams appeared on MSN Now on Sunday to discuss the redistricting wars following the longtime Democrat Representative Steve Cohen's decision to end his reelection bid after Tennessee Republicans erased his district with a newly drawn congressional map. So she's big mad. They can't do their thing anymore. So you're going to have to listen. So yeah, there's a video that goes with this. So just it's exciting. Exciting and new. Climb aboard. We've been expecting you, the fraud boat. Oh wait, that's not the same, is it? That's not. No. Oh, okay, sorry. Remember the Love Boat? I always thought that I don't know why. I don't know. I always thought it was kind of weird. All right, look at her. She is beautiful. Look at how much. Look what Ozempic does for you. If you put enough snake venom, and by the way, Ozempic and these little GLP-1 shots, this is snake venom. Coral snake venom or pit viper snake venom. Look it up. Now, I'm sorry. No, Ozempic. Wait. That's Gila monster venom. I'm sorry, I was talking about the COVID shot, which is the snake venom peptides that are in the gray cap and the purple cap in the vaccine. When they combine in the body, they start producing snake venom. And don't worry about it. It's just it's just a thing, bro. Don't worry. They were putting snake peptide pumps and 2 different vials, then they would come together in your body. They would replicate into each other, creating another pump, and then they would start leaking snake venom into your body, and you would have long-term COVID. You would have super cancer. You would have myocarditis. You would have big, long inflammation tubes in your vascular system. All right, listen, Stacey Abrams. By the way, Gila monster venom is not good for you, but it will make you atrophy from the colon to your mouth, where you eventually quit eating altogether and you die. Here we go. All right, let's see what she has to say here. Oh, wait, it's a commercial.
Does this simple egg trick really help?
Why do they do these commercials on these like this? I hate this part of it. All right, here we go.
See, could you talk a little bit about how this ruling will affect black representation, not only at the federal level, but at the state level?
It's going to ruin it.
State lawmakers, county commissions, city council.
Did you hear how that lady, hold on a second here, guys. Did you hear that very key thing? She said it's going to ruin this for black voters. It's going to ruin it. Ruin what? The fact that you literally are having segregated dorms for black-only dorms so white people won't bother the black people? Are you guys hearing that out loud? There are black-only dorms at publicly funded universities, colleges, state colleges, all that. Across this nation, it is happening. Believe me or not, I don't care. Okay? Let's say it happened one time. Did you hear that out loud? That we want blacks to be in this dorm only so that the whites don't bother them. They have white fatigue. Is anybody hearing? Gee, many Christmas. All right. I'm gonna start from the beginning with this lady's thing, but I just want you to hear that part of it where she's like, it's ruining it. Okay, what are we ruining? So let's go back.
Stacey, could you talk a little bit about how this ruling will affect black representation, not only at the federal level, but at the state level? I'm thinking state lawmakers, county commissions, city councils. To what extent will this ruling affect representation and the representation, particularly of voters of color, at the levels below the federal level?
Absolutely. What? And that's why I think this is such an important conversation to have at this moment.
She actually asked at the federal level and then below the federal level, but separated the question by saying only at... Wow.
A competitive authoritarian nation, which is what America is now. Democracy is about ensuring that we have shared power and shared voices.
We're not a democracy. We're a representative constitutional republic. Shut the F up, Abrams. You don't know what it is. Democracy is socialism.
Guarantee you victory, but it guarantees you access. Authoritarianism, especially competitive authoritarianism, attempts to diminish your ability to use those same democratic institutions to your benefit. With these new maps, we know that analysis by Fair Fight and Black Voters Matter show that we could lose 19 to 20 congressional seats, but we could lose up to 191 state legislative seats. And in the South, those state legislators draw city council districts, county commission districts, school board districts, and they draw state legislative lines. And so if you want to know if your child is going to have fair and equitable access to education, that will...
Okay, listen, guys, I know I'm chopping this up with her, but are you listening to what she's trying to say to you? Like, she's now saying that education's not available, that the voting is not available, that now people can't vote. I mean, there's all... Guys, we vote so much here in Kansas. I get tired of it because we have votes in the spring and we have votes in the fall. And I say votes, we have multiples. We had a vote for a referendum thing or whatever for a sales tax thing, and that lost like 90% to nothing. And then we had our regular election right after that. They couldn't put them together because it was so necessary to get the people's opinion about getting more taxes out of their pocket that they had to hurry and spend millions of dollars on a special election to be told they don't have any extra money after spending extra money on a special election that they could have held 1 month later when the irregular election was happening. This is the shit that, like, she's talking about, like, oh, people can't vote. We got so much voting on here. We don't even know when it is anymore. It's just voting all the time. But this is where they get this word salad going. This is what we call word salad. She is not telling you anything that's factual. She's not even giving you anything that's really concrete to talk about. She's using a lot of red button words, though. Red button, red button, red button, red button, red button. Blacks can't do it. Brown people can't do it. Minorities can't do it. People of color. Hey, by the way, isn't white a color? I'm not invisible. So I do have color. So when you say people of color, you're talking about me too, right? Because you're not being racist by excluding one particular race when you say people of color, right? Please say you're not saying that. Black only dorm people. Shit. All right, let's go. Come on. What am I doing here? She's just so beautiful. I just need to listen to her talk all day. Breathtaking. Here we go.
And in the South, those state legislators draw city council districts, county commission districts, school board districts, and they draw state legislative lines. And so if you want to know if your child is going to have fair and equitable access to education.
Fair and equitable access to education. Hold on a second here. Wait. Did you hear what so this is the quiet part the article was talking about. She said they're going to lose 100 and some legislative seats within Georgia alone. And she's saying that they're going to flip in the legislation alone in Georgia. That's a supermajority flip. Do you understand what she has said? She has told you exactly how hard and how far they have cheated. They have gone this far, and she just told you hundreds of seats will flip because of what they've been doing in Georgia alone. You understand that's what this article is talking about. She just told you this little part right here. That she's going to lose hundreds of seats, and then kids are going to lose access to education. Nobody loses it. Because a legislative seat flips does not mean someone doesn't go to school tomorrow. And by the way, the public education, I wouldn't send anybody's children there. I'm serious, guys. I would rather throw the whole damn thing away right now. The entire public education, just figure it out some other way. I don't give a shit. Dead stop, no school next fall. Period. All public schools torn down, turned back into wheat fields. Period. I don't care if she's saying someone lost that. I hope we all lose access to the shitty government education you've shoved down our throats. Anyway, all right. I'm sorry. Stacey, you were saying, I get all wound up for no reason. I'm sorry.
And so if you want to know if your child is going to have fair and equitable access to education, that will be diminished if your families can't participate in elections and elect leaders who value your education. If you want health care in the South, it's the state legislature that decides whether you have access. All of the things that disproportionately harm communities of color will now be decided by people who disproportionately dislike and vote against the needs of people of color.
I'm a people of color, Stacey. Quit saying that. I like color. Okay? I'm a color.
What we have to remember, and this is why I started the 10 Steps campaign, this is a national fight. It may start in the South, but it has national implications. Progress that serves the most disproportionately harmed communities lifts everyone. But if we do not do so, if we allow the suppression of black and brown votes, we are harming their neighbors and we're harming the U.S. And that's why we cannot allow the South to be left behind. We need national intervention because they are starting in the South. But this is a national attempt to misuse democratic institutions to suppress all of the communities who fight for democracy in this country.
You mean we're using your shit against you? Is that what you just said? We're using your shit against you. Is that what you said, Stacey? Now, by the way, she's got $2 billion fresh dollars as of last year to spend, okay? She got a $2 billion last year, okay? Dispersed in one check. $2 billion with your debit card attached to it. She has... Guys, listen, by the way, they have no accountability of the $500 million she received the year before of supposedly doing the same thing. And the one before that was another, some million. She's been stepping up this program, and she's been doing it now for so long. We should have been hearing about how great the South is now because of all the great refrigerators everybody has. Right, Stacey? Ma'am? Hello? Are you going to let us audit your books and find out where all these refrigerators are being bought? Are you buying them at Home Depot? Are you buying them from Whirlpool Direct or for Frigidaire? Or are you buying them from China? You buying the China ones and just putting the America sticker on it? What are you doing? Anyway. Guys, I have heard, now, when we just talked about this whole thing with the gerrymandering thing, hey, Debbie Porter, good to see you. She is, hey, by the way, Debbie, thank you so much for being here. Debbie, good to see you. Like that, we should start pointing out that we need to protect the unprotected class of colorless, a.k.a. albino people. Well, no, see that, again, albino is a color. So, I just, Debbie Porter, love you to death. Thank you so much for being on the show. She is a state school board member, Debbie is, so thank you for being here, state of Kansas. And by the way, thank you for being the brave soul that you are and being in that hot mess called the State Board of Education. I cannot imagine what that is like. It is unbelievable what they do. Anyway, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Now, there's a white crayon in the box, says Dave Salee. Well, yeah. Debbie, absolutely good to see you, hon. I appreciate you being here. Now, this is the part where I just don't think we always get to talk about this out loud. But, yeah, color is called color. Everything is a color. Everything is a frequency. All frequency have color. All colors are frequency. Everything is frequency. We are frequency. So everything is color. So what is the difference between people of color or not? And by the way, if you can point out one black person to me and what brown people are to me, if you can show me a genuine black person and then tell me the person that they're standing next to is a brown person, guys, we've really kind of stumbled past the stupidity of what we say to each other and how we reference each other. Seriously. And the idea that I have to somehow be white and I have to be a male and I have to make sure and protect somebody else's status over my own, that's exactly opposite of what your fright and flight is training you to do. You're telling me to take all of my primal programming, my instincts that take over when I'm not thinking for myself because things are coming at me too fast. My very fright or flight that tells me that the situation may be wrong for me to be in. I may need to question what I'm doing, or that I may need to protect myself first before others. I need to turn that off and protect others' interests, no matter what their behavior is, ahead of mine. As a human being, I want to be alive. Why would I do that? I'm not hurting anybody, and I'm not going to give you something that I'm not giving myself. Now, if I have extra and I want to give, that's my choice. But not to be taken from me, not to be demanded from me. The math just hurts sometimes. People work so hard to be stupid. Melanin is a color. Absolutely. I mean, I'm a color. I don't know what color I am, but I am a color. I mean, I'm a white guy, but I don't know. My hands, see my hand's a different color. My back of my hand's a different color. I mean, what the... I just feel like we're just doing stupid shit all the time. Are we just doing stupid shit and then we're calling ourselves adults? Are we out of stuff to do to the point we're just doing this now? And then we're calling ourselves adults? Is that what we're doing? Hold on a second here. All right, hold on. There's a show in here somewhere. We'll talk about the vote and all that stuff here in a second, I'm sure. You know, I look around and I'm again, good, bad, or indifferent. My life has been amazing. I've got stories. I've got things I mean, they're just stories for days, right? The more you do, the more stories you have. The less you do, you're going, well, I don't have a story like that. Well, get up and get one. You know, you cannot say, you cannot say this. I cannot jump my bike 20 feet across the air to another ramp 20 feet away if I've never tried. Because I don't know. I might just be able to launch my bicycle, however it be, 20 feet through the air to another landing spot and land it. But who told me I can't? Who told me that I was limited? Who told me not to? Who told me I'd break something? Who told me I couldn't go roller skating in my 50s? On speed skates. I had not skated in decades. I walked out on speed skates, got out there, started doing crossovers like I was 10 years old, and I felt so free. I felt young. I felt like I could build a memory that I wanted from when I was a kid, that I could remember it the way I want to remember it. I could feel the way I wanted to feel. Because I wanted to go hang on the monkey bars, and I wanted to slide down the slide, and I wanted to go down to the water park, and I wanted to do all the rope swings, and I wanted to do those zip lines, and I wanted to go jet skiing, and I wanted to do those things because you know what? I might fall off, and I might just die. But at least I was doing something. Man, these people get me. They get me wound up. But have we just all lost the plot to this whole thing? Can't we all just go out and just get some shit done? Do something. Make a story. Debbie Potter's got an amazing story, guys. She is putting up with things that I couldn't imagine. She's an amazing person doing God's work. I mean, I say God's work, but whatever, religion she is, but she's up there doing things that she's got to. She's standing in the gap. She did it. She got elected to the state school board, and she's doing everything she can to go on record to be the right person. That's a story. And she's not a young chicken either. But here's the point of it. It doesn't matter. Get out and do something. I know 80-year-olds that do crazy shit, and I know 20-year-olds that won't get out of the house. So you tell me what's youth? What are we doing here, folks? And have we lost the plot to this whole game? I mean, you end up dying anyway. You might as well die the way you want to. Not alone in some room where they beeps your heart rate all the time in your ear. I mean, make it to where you're like on life support because you ran through a brick wall. You did some crazy shit. Why not? They can't figure out how to put you back together. I wish my story that kind of reset a lot of things in my life at the beginning of this year with 7 fractures and a hole in my lung. I wish my story had a little more story to it. But I tell you what the miracle is, I got 7 fractures instead of a dead head. I didn't bang my head and kill myself. I got 7 fractures instead and a hole in my lungs, and I'm all right with that. That right there is a victory. That's a positive. So then I pushed myself as hard as I could to get out there as hard as I could. Hell, guys, I was back on the show in what, a week or so? Maybe I wasn't my best, but I was trying. Maybe it was going to kill me, but it didn't. You guys figure out what you want to do. All right. By the way, so let me give you this. I said you guys about, I don't know, it may have been the end of last year, but it was probably in the last 3 or 4 months here. And I will tell you, I know I've said it now. I'll have to kind of, I think it was like 2.5 months ago, 3 months is where I'm at right now. My mind's honing in on it. I'll probably be able to figure it out here in a minute. But I have told you guys, there are rumors that there could be in this legislative cycle, this vote we're coming up on this fall, they're talking about in some districts, because they knew the gerrymandering thing wasn't going to stick, and the only way to get it to flip is we had to challenge it, which we did. We finally challenged it. But by the way, most of these challenges you're seeing today are 12 years old. The challenges and the victories in the courts that the Supreme Court, the federal Supreme Court, had got involved with and other things like that, this is all 12 years old. That's why it seems like shit doesn't get done. And it's done purposely, because you lose interest and you lose the spark and you lose the drive and you lose the context. And 12 years later, here we are we finally get the victory. And this is what they knew they were losing control of. And they did as best they could to get the new Green Deal done, to get the government surveillance in. We got flock cameras everywhere. But I told you guys just a few months ago that we were going to see somewhere in the dozens, if not almost 100 seats in the federal legislative flip to red. Guys, when I say that, I know that it seems like I'm really kind of go team, go team. Stacey Abrams, in her own words, just told you in a 3-minute clip, verifying to you exactly what I just said, but also had said it months ago. And I knew about it actually closer to the beginning of the year. It was probably close to the end of the year last year, like November, December. I was made aware that there's some big shifts and things were coming. But what I'm pointing out to you guys is what I said to you 2 or 3 months ago is the same thing that Stacey Abrams just verified right here. That there are the RNC, they're being very, very cautious about being optimistic at all. They do not even want to say they're going to win 1 seat. They're being very, very, very hush about this. But the Democrats do see it. They do see what's going on. They do see the writing on the wall. They know things are coming. A couple other things. AOC this weekend was in New York, and she put herself behind bulletproof glass, I guess. But they were aluminum frame. By the way, guys, I don't know if you guys understand this. I know ballistics. I know blasting. I know shock. I know this is the stuff I had to know to be able to defend people inside of a building. So I made my buildings impenetrable. And if you were to take a shotgun or a rifle or something of a high-powered pistol and shoot it at that frame that she had that in, well, one of two things is going to happen. One, it's probably going to go straight through whatever was in that frame, because that's not Lexan. That's not the stuff that actually stops bullets. But also, it would just take that frame and slap it into her forehead, because that's not what you do. I don't know what that was, but it gave her some sympathy. It got her some crowd. Remember the whole Ilhan Omar with the vinegar and the syringe? Remember? Ilhan Omar had a person from the crowd's going to shoot her with a vial of, a syringe of something. Remember that? Her employee? It came out immediately. I told you guys, it was her employee. I said, this is an inside job. I didn't even know it yet. I said that because it was that day. I said, it's an inside job. And then it came out that the guy is actually on her payroll. And it was all set up, that she was trying to show that she was tough. So my point is, guys, is that AOC did some stuff very, very similar to that. But where's that whole thing? Nobody's talking about that fraud? We're just going to run right past that? Also, we do have the Iran thing going, and I will tell you right now that if you don't understand the whole Iran thing, you don't understand how the Muslim expectation or the Middle East bravado works. But they don't do I lost. Hey, dude, you got me. High five, I lost. You win. They don't do that. So the problem is there's going to have to be a point where, and this is the sad thing. This is what's happened, and this is what's happening here. They have to act like, oh, we don't want this America. Oh, struggle. Ooh, owie. Ooh, don't do that. Ooh, a little harder. Ooh, yeah. No, they're going to try to make it sound like they don't want it. And this is what this drag out thing is about. But here's the thing. They're shutting off China's oil. Like, most of China's oil comes out of Iran. 90% or 80% of Iranian oil goes straight to China, and then China gets the majority of their life's blood from Iran. So, just understand, okay? We had to go see Xi. Now Xi hey, by the way, Xi's coming out here in September. You know that, right? Do you know that the Chinese Communist Party leader, he's not the El Presidente, by the way. That's not, we don't play politics like they play politics. We got to know the difference. Anyway, he's coming over in September. So, cool stuff like that, huh? So what happens when China comes to America? See, I think we got to look at a lot of this stuff, right? We got to look at a lot of this stuff. We got to be aware that there's a lot more things going on than we realize, and we're not as always aware as we should be. But remember, we are selling oil at a premium from American soil. We are sending oil to Europe. We are sending oil around the world. America is sending their oil, which is, guys, by the way, let me do this for you. And I know that I hate saying this. Anyway, whatever. As a child, I knew that we were sitting on more reserves than the Middle East even understood. And I knew that when I was a child, somewhere in my late elementary to junior high years, I had studied minerals and gone through the whole idea of what we actually have here in America. And I was trying to figure out, like, why do we keep buying oil? As a child in the 70s, I'm like, why do we keep buying oil from over there when we got all the oil we could ever want here? Like natural gas. I mean, we've got we've got gold, we got silver, we got all these heavy minerals, we've got all this really cool stuff. Good stuff, right? Like, we're doing really good. And we haven't even talked about, like, the silica that we have in Kentucky, that exactly where that town got washed away in Kentucky. Remember that 2 years ago when these little BBs were showing up after a rainfall? Oh, you mean the ones that they were using like boba balls to soak up all the moisture in the clouds and then make it dump in one specific area so it scrubbed the land clear, but also got rid of a town, but now they don't have to relieve all the overburden over the crystal that they were going to mine? Did we talk about that? Oh yeah, no, that's back east. I'm sorry, back east. So don't worry about that. That town's gone. Those people are dead. Don't worry about it. You just, hey, what about that whole chromium spill? What about that chemical spill we had up there? And we're not talking about Ohio no more. We don't want to do that one. We're not gonna. Remember we had 4 years ago. Remember that oil that, and then they caught it on fire. The chemical spill. We're not gonna do that one anymore. Okay, all right. I don't know, guys. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So, but we are energy independent. We have the ability, 444 on the cock, 444. We have the ability to take care of ourselves. We do not need anything from anybody. And if we want to continue to talk about microprocessors, do you guys know that we have 8 major microprocessing facilities going into production within the next 2 years? And I'm not talking about like, oh, we're Taiwan and we've got microprocessors. We're talking about facilities that are like, like these things are brilliant. These are huge facilities. Intel put one in the Valley when I was working out there. These are hyper clean rooms that take years to get clean. They start the filtration process on the clean rooms at the beginning of construction so that by the time the entire building is built around the clean room, that it's actually almost to the point of being clean enough to actually do microprocessing, microprocess construction. Did you know that? I don't know. I guess there's a lot of stuff in our world we need to know. Daniel Whitmore, what? What's up, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. So, but anyway, yeah, there's a lot of this stuff in this world that I don't know if we always think about how we get it and what we do and different things like that. Like the American banana. Did you know the American banana was actually a relief banana while the good banana went through a disease phase and was taken off the market? And now we get a starchy, less good banana. By the way, there's a brilliant banana that was out there way before the one we get now in America. And it was a dessert. But the bananas we get nowadays are just, they're not the same thing. Anyway, so this whole thing with Iran, that's going to settle in. Gas prices will drop. But as a child, I looked around and I could not understand, and still even to this day, I still cannot understand why people don't know how much energy we have in America alone. Alaska, by the way, guys, let me do this. Alaska, the Alaskan oil fields, which have not even begun to be touched, are so vast and so plentiful, it would make oil prices go below zero. Do you guys understand that that's actually another part of what we're doing is that we're bringing things to here and showing how easy it is to get commerce in and out of here and how safe it is in and out of here and everywhere else is a piece of shit? See, we're doing a pretty good job right now of showing them how, hey, we can do this. We're good at manufacturing. We're good at making shit. America makes good stuff. We really do. When we try, when we put our effort into it, we make really sustainable heirloom equipment, fixtures, stuff that you would pass down to generations. Never once have I heard anybody talk about buying something from China and going, man, I can't wait to give this to my grandchildren. This little piece of plastic's going to be so great, they're going to love it. China makes the best. They're the best ever. Nobody says that. Why do people, when they know they want to buy the best excavator, that they buy Cat? Why is it they want to buy one of the best tractors out there? They'll buy a John Deere. Or they'll buy a Case. Or they'll buy a Cat. They're out there buying American. They're not going over getting a Gooka tractor from whatever because it's $2,000. Because they know it ain't worth it. They know it's not there. It's not going to be there when they need it. Because when America does try, when we do these things, we get amazing. And guys, it's time to get amazing. It's time to get active. Time to go out there and quit being lazy. The best thing the government ever did was give us something because it leans into our laziness, which is our selfish sin nature of our heart. And that's why we don't do anything. And that's why they get away with everything. Whew, we could do better. Daniel Whitmore says real bananas are 3.5 to 4 inches long, and like custard in texture instead of starchy. Yeah. Daniel Whitmore. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Terrence Williams, I haven't seen him here today, but he was at the birthday party on Saturday. So if he's around here, I don't think I've seen his comments today. So anyway, he may see the replay later. There's a lot of this stuff, guys, that I'm talking about. It is very much in the news today. But you got to understand if you're going to look at the news today, then don't get worried when you get all like, "Whoa, I can't believe the world's coming to an end. Oh my God." If you don't get it, if you're only having that myopic point of view on a singular topic, and yeah, you might as well go ahead. Yeah, freak out. You're right. Do it. But when you start pulling back, you start seeing where I actually thought about when I was a kid and even as a young adult, I said, well, America's brilliant. We're sucking the oil out of the Middle East, making them think that there's something important. But in reality, we have everything we need here. So maybe we're not going to see the benefit, and I even said this, and maybe not even in my lifetime I'll see the benefit of actually America being the sole source of so much around the world, but it looks like I'm actually going to live to see that right now. the golden age of America is actually dawning, and this is the very beginning of this. This is that where it's just starting to come together, that little 1-2% before the bell curve starts to take off, right? But it doesn't do a bell curve where it comes back down, it just continues. Because it can continue in a way as long as you know that you're doing more for others. And I think that's the rule right there. But anyway, what do I know? What do I know? Oh, Terrence Williams says, I am here. So now, what a great time to be alive. Absolutely. Who said that one there? Dave Solis said that one. Good. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. What a great time to be alive. And we got to give ourselves the credit and understand what's going on here and quit trying to, it's easy to get negative. It's easy to go the wrong way on stuff. That's the easy way. It's absolutely the easy way. Be negative, be whatever you want to do. That's just crazy. Real quick, guys, this weekend, Friday, I will not be here. It is Memorial Day weekend. I will be in Knoll, Missouri. Knoll, Missouri is in the southwest corner of Missouri, south of Springfield or Joplin. And I'm going to be on the water Saturday, maybe even Sunday if I feel up to it. And so just let you know, guys, I will be taking off Friday this week. And then obviously Memorial Day is on Monday, which I do wish you guys that you guys would go out and celebrate those veterans and those fallen heroes who have gone to the slaughter for probably a lot of the wrong reasons. But in their hearts, they did it because they were noble men who loved their country. And that's what we want to celebrate, is that we know that in their hearts they were doing the right thing every time. And yeah, war gets ugly and it gets nasty, but we can do better, right? So just figure this out. But remember this Memorial Day, that this is about those fallen heroes and those times where we weren't always our best. But we can always get better, right? All right. Oh, that's about it for me. Golly, how a time slips by, doesn't it? Well, anyway, guys, it's been great having you. Thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes. Facebook was full. It was great to see everybody. Thank you so much for all the singular wishes and all the different messages and those kind of things. Thank those of you that got me gifts as well. Brenda went out of her way. Snowden, she's here as the moderator here on the Jim Price Show. She took over for our buddy, but he'll be back here soon, I hope. But anyway, she made some amazing banana bread with cream cheese frosting muffins. I guess it'd be muffins or cupcakes. Anyway, so those were amazing. So she really went out of her way and also got me a great card. So did others as well. Terrence Williams got me a card, and he had a cheeseburger at the Mexican restaurant. I got to telling you, Terrence, but actually those cheeseburgers are really good. They're not a slouch at all. They do a great job at Felipe Jr.'s over there, and I do appreciate that family. They are awesome to me every time I'm there. All right, guys, that's going to be about it for me. It's been good seeing everybody. Remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast, do not give up, do not give in. We'll win. I promise. I make promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been that answer out there. Remember that Constitution? Well, that limits the government, but never limits you. Know your authority. Know who is in control. That is you. We live in a constitutional representative republic, not a democracy. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.